Nigeria has emerged as the country with the highest number of facilities ranked among Africa's 10 worst prisons, according to new assessments by rights organizations and international monitors. Across the continent, prisons are operating far beyond capacity. The International Committee of the Red Cross estimates that many African facilities are at 170% occupancy, with colonial-era structures ill-suited to modern demands. Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison in Lagos leads Nigeria's grim tally. Designed for 800 inmates, it now holds more than 2,500, where sewage-flooded cells, rampant gang violence and regular outbreaks of tuberculosis and malaria have earned it a reputation as a hellhole. Well, joining us for this discussion, we do have Dr. Uju Agomoh, the Executive Director of Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action, PRAWA. Thank you so much, Dr. Uju, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm happy to be here. I hope you're hearing me clearly.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Even though we seem to have a little network glitch there, but we'll try as much as possible to make do with this conversation. It's sad, and it's a sad reality that our prison structures are where they are today. But what structural failures have allowed Nigerian prisons to deteriorate to this particular level that we find it now?
Okay, thank you very much. If you can hear me rightly, I want to say that part of this is a systemic delay in all of the things that needs to be done. So almost like, you know, a long period when this correctional service had been abandoned. And this was something that the 2019 Act of the Correctional Service was intended to reverse. Because if you look at the objectives of that act, which was signed on the 31st of July by the then president, you will see that the clear objective is to deal with all of the problems that have been mentioned and many more. The very first objective was to ensure complete compliance with international human rights standards and good correctional practices. So you are having a law which you are not putting steps to ensure full implementation. That same law talks about the fact that this is also to introduce an effective platform for the implementation of non-custodial measures. So imagine if the non-custodial measures have been implemented, a lot of people who need not be in custody will be in the community and the population will come down. Then you go to the third objective, it talks about reform, rehabilitation, and reintegration, which means that if people come in contact with the system, when they go back, the likelihood of them reoffending will be very, very minimal. Now, watch the fourth objective, and all of this is clearly stated in that law, Section 2, subsection 1, A to D. Then in that fourth objective, it says it is to control the overpopulation in a systemic way, especially for those who have not been convicted. The same law, and I'm going to give you this as a very clear example. The same law puts in a mechanism to help ensure that there are no custodial center is overcrowded. In section 12.2, that the officer in charge of that custodial center is supposed to activate an early warning signal, alert the chief judge, alert the prerogative of mercy committees, alert the justice reform teams, alert the attorney general and all of that, and give them a simple word. The reason for this problem is deeply rooted on the fact that we have laws that we don't implement. We lack proper coordination in terms of ensuring that all of the players within the system do what needs to be done. And it looks like nothing can come out of it. So in a sense that people feel that if I violate the law, no consequences. And therefore they continue to do it. So if you ask me, what is that root cause? It is a long period of abandonment of the sector. It is lack of implementation of the laws that are there, because the laws are clear. And if we do the needful, we will not be in the mess that we are.
Wow, it's really deep, and we often feel that sometimes many Nigerians don't understand how deeply rooted the decay is in our prison systems. But who is responsible for oversight? And why do you think there has been no accountability up until today?
Okay, First, I think it is good to also put some things in clear perspective. I don't know whether you are aware that on the 30th of September last year, the current Minister of Interior inaugurated a panel to do a general overhaul and investigate all aspects of corruption.
Seems network isn't friendly today. I think she was trying to clear what really happened on the 30th of September.
Minister,
Yeah,
very
part information there that she wants to pass. That had to do with the reforms of the Nigerian prisons by the minister. But how far has that gone? And it would be nice if we got her summation on that. But hopefully the network would allow us another chance to speak with you. But this is a conversation, Binga, that we here on Breakfast Central will be taken to the next level, because we really need to focus on reforming the Nigerian prison system. So we feel as a media house, we should be able to champion this.
What she's said so far, that there are laws there, there are early warning systems, there are trigger mechanisms that once you get to a certain capacity, the prison authorities are meant to involve the Ministry of Justice. They would use the prerogative of mercy initiative to decongest the prison. These are, but like people always say, Nigeria's problems is not a lack of laws, it's the political will to implement it. And again, in 2019, we had a name change, if you recall. Okay, I believe Dr. Agomoh is back. So we'll just let you complete your thoughts on putting things in perspective. You were
concerning September 30.
Concerning September 30 and the Interior Minister.
I mean,
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can't hear me.
We can hear you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, very quickly, because I guess the network is playing out. So I told you that you were asking who is in charge of the oversight. Section 20 and 21 of the, and even if you only read up to a little bit of 22, it talks about 4 different mechanisms of oversight. There are, and all of those 4, none have been activated. So I need to mention that, but I don't want to get too much into it. But then, that's 30th of September last year, the minister inaugurated it, and which is still working to conclude his report. And I'm the secretary of seeing quite a lot, provided a lot that is happening, because the necessary coordination is not also happening with other agencies. And I want to say this, maybe it is important for everyone to hear. There seems to be an obsession with incarceration. General public are obsessed. They feel they must put everybody in custody. The judiciary obsessed about incarceration, and they don't understand the dangers. Because if they do, they won't be doing what they are doing, because it has a direct link to insecurity, a direct link to increasement of crime. Take it. Somebody who is innocent enters a custodial center, learns from the big bosses there, and then goes out and have a network of criminals that they are going to be connected with. And I think that apart from that, there is also a lot of stress that comes into this. So there's so much that ought to be done in terms of the different elements for oversight. I told you about the provision in the Nigerian Correctional Service Act, about 4 different mechanisms for oversight that is not yet activated. I must also let you know that both the Legal Aid Act of 2011 and the National Human Rights Commission Act also provide certain elements which should allow them to, on their own, visit places of detention. The other aspect I want to mention to you is that Nigeria is a signatory to both the United Nations Convention Against Torture, Cruel and Inhuman Treatment and the optional protocol to that convention. The optional protocol talks about establishment of national preventive mechanisms. Recently this year, the National Human Rights Commission has been designated by the president to serve as a national preventive mechanism. And that national preventive mechanism is supposed to have opportunity and power to visit places of detention and bring reports and address it in line with what the subcommittee, United Nations Subcommittee on Prevention of Torture, it stipulates. I'm a member of the UN Subcommittee on Prevention of Torture, and we visit all the places of detention across the globe. And I will tell you, once there is a mechanism that is consistent about the visits, a mechanism that is consistent about profiling solutions, and a mechanism that guarantees the response, effective response to those solutions, including providing adequate budgetary allocation for the implementations of those solutions, you will have it right. The problem in Nigeria is those things that I have mentioned earlier. And truth be told, the kind of countries that perhaps you will see countries coming out of conflict. So the likes of Burundi, the likes of Democratic Republic of Congo, correctional centers, the likes of correctional centers in Central African Republic, and the rest of that. But there is a lot that can be done, and that requires government involvement, also requires the involvement of the general public. As I said, we must understand that everything rushing to put people in custody should not be the business as usual. And we must take support to correctional service as a critical security consideration.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be properly funded. But to talk about the need to activate fully the non-constitutional measures. Don't see the reason why many people.
Hello, Dr. Agomoh, are you there with us? We seem to be having some connection issues, but Joe, I believe we have some good news that Dr. Agomoh will be with us physically.
Yeah, we'll try as much as possible to have it physically. There's a lot to talk about. Dr. Agomoh, if you can hear us, unfortunately we're out of time, and the network connectivity issues is really affecting this very, very interesting conversation. I want to put it to you, Dr. Agomoh, that here on Breakfast Central, we've decided to take it upon ourselves to have a special on the call for Nigeria's prison reforms. And we'd like you to please join us physically when you're in Lagos, so that we can have this conversation live in the studio.
And there will be no network issues.
So we can discuss clearly. Yes. So, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.